Hello, I'm Bill Fusion. I have an idea for an IP and I want to make it a reality. I have been working on this IP for about a good 3 years now. I have made it a personal hobby, writing stories, creating characters along with their power and personality, coming up with different ideas, and much more. My first goal is to make an animated series. I have a pitch Bible on standby. I have a story arc and have written 30 stories for it and more. From there, I would love to make a video game based on the IP, but I need to get over the first hurdle. But there is a problem. It turned out unwanted ideas and pitches are rejected, and you need a talent agent or something like that to be able to pitch your idea or have them pitch. So I need to jump another hurdle. And even if you have an agent, there is still a low chance of success. I do not have an agent and I do not know anyone in the entertainment industry. So I decided to switch gears a little bit. I want to do something really creative this year. This is when I came up with the idea of creating a comic or a comic book. Well, about that, I'm not sure if I can call it a comic book, a manga, or a graphic novel. It might be a combination of the three. Graphic novels have at least 48 pages, and I have planned for 48 pages for the full story, but only part 1 is done. My comic had anime characters or Western-made characters with Japanese anime influence, and the pages are in black and white. How you read the comic is from left to right like a comic book and not right to left like a manga. I have never made a comic before. I wrote stories, so everything should balance out. So, how did everything turn out? Well, for anyone that does not know, a logline is a short and simple summary of a movie, a book, a show, or any type of story. I have two of them, a short one and a long one. Here is the short one for my show.
Leo, a teenage martial artist, and his friends find themselves battling an evil group to stop them from taking over the world.
Here is the longer one.
Leo, a teenage fighter who loves the martial arts and battling, wants to prove how strong he is by fighting other fighters in a standard martial arts bout or a battle of powers. However, Leo, his friends, and other fighters find themselves battling Vile, an evil group, to stop them from destroying the world and destroying their lives and the lives of many innocent people.
So, that is my logline. I will share a little bit more detailed, but not everything. My IP takes place in the modern day and present day world. Mine is real life people, living or dead, extremism, radicalization, and modern day nonsense and bullcrap. When not fighting rivals or dealing with bad guys, Leo and the others are normal teenagers and young adults living a normal life. Some episodes are all about fighting rivals and who will win this time. Some episodes are about day-to-day normal life and character background. Some episodes are about evil and villain and will all lead up to an ultimate showdown. My show idea is basically a shonen anime or an action cartoon with more slices of life element. It is mostly aimed at males. I want to target teenagers and adults who are into shonen, action cartoon, martial art, fighting, and adventure. If you did not know, shonen is a demographic of Japanese manga and anime aimed at young boys roughly aged 12 to 18, but enjoyed by broader audiences outside of age and gender. Characterized by action, adventure, friendship, determination, the slice of life element and moment build character outside of fighting, give side quest, use for healing, and add humor. If you like this type of content, then please subscribe to my channel. Also, please like this video. It will help me out. Thank you. I'm not good at art, and I'm not an artist, and not knowing about other art-related things like color theory, angles, and so on is another problem. The only thing I wanted to do is draw or try to draw the hairstyle of each character. It took me a while to get an okay hairstyle for each character. When I was drawing, I was looking at images and references of many characters to try to draw a hairstyle and see what worked and what did not work for a character. Then I only wanted to draw hairstyles. I made myself head templates on drawing paper. When I need to draw, I get some tracing paper and trace the head part, but draw a different hairstyle. I did try to draw eye shape, mostly the right eye with a brow, but a lot of my eye shape look similar to each other in some way. One thing I did was use a basic art tool to copy the eye and flip it, making it look like I drew two. When drawing the head, the hairstyle, and eyes on a person at once, it never came out well for me. I draw the eyes away from the head for this reason. Mouth and ears I do not focus on much because most of my characters have basic mouth and ears. Since I'm not great at drawing, I have to look into hiring an artist. Also, I need some way of visually making characters. I had to use something many people do not like. What did I use? Well, before anyone get mad at me, it is only a small percentage. The only thing I had AI do is create a headshot of visual images or visual representation of my characters from drawing I drew myself. Think of it like this. I'm using the AI art or the AI visualization as well as my basic drawing as a placeholder for my character, and then have a great artist by commission or from a company make a better version of the placeholder and modify what needs to be modified. I know the art and the art style is a big part of the visual for a character in a comic, a show, or visual media. And some people might be disappointed I'm using some AI for visualization. At least I'm upfront about it and not lying. For the record, I do not want to steal or use other people's work for AI. All the drawing AI scanned or however it worked, I used to make the images were drawn by me. It is part what I drew and part using AI to enhance the drawing or fit errors from my poor drawing skills. What I did was make and draw a hairstyle along with the head and eyes, take a picture of it, upload it, and turn it into a palatable visual character using AI. That is the only thing AI would use for. Other than the comic book art I commissioned an artist to do, everything else is done by me. The stories or episodes are written by me. Each character powers and personality are made by me. Locations and places where the characters fitted are made by me. I made an OD page and studied info on how to make characters and much more. I can create a character by writing down many details about him or her along with the type of hairstyle they have. I just cannot draw them visually great. As for my point of view on AI, I'm not pro AI and I'm not anti AI. I'm in the middle and I'm not one of those AI bros or whatever people call them. And I do not call myself an AI artist. I have no plans of using AI for bad reasons, stealing an art style, or for cringe content and so on. AI should be used as a basic tool for small help. For example, what if you wanted to see your character in a different hair color? The AI tool in an art program can change the color without an artist needing to repaint the color on the hair one by one or just to see their character with an alternative color. I think there is a line between using it for small help versus using it for coming up with ideas in general. With everything in this day and age, nuance is very important. How someone uses AI, how much it used, and so on is the important part. For me, that is. I would not be shocked if some of the games I played had or used AI during development or have some AI tool for game models, a point system, or whatever the case.
Street Fighter 6 has dynamic controls, which uses AI. This allows players to battle with AI-assisted attacks, but the option is only available in local play. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, an amazing game from what I heard, and won many Game of the Year awards, has in-game AI art placeholders. The game has a small percentage of AI use in the form of AI art during development, but the placeholders were replaced. Arc Raiders, a popular game, uses AI voices, but is trained on by voice actors with consent. Crazy Taxi, World Tour, a game coming out in 2027, is using AI in some way. This is the info Sega put out. Sega utilizes AI as a support tool for developers to provide better content and enable developers to focus more on creative tasks. This is just to give a few examples of games that use or have AI in some way.
I do not know how anti-AI dumb people are. I understand why dumb people are not happy with AI, but being completely anti-AI or completely without AI might be harder than you think. Although, do not attack people over AI. Getting mad if someone uses basic or general AI to answer a simple question like how much protein is in a grilled chicken sandwich is not serious, or using AI to have a voice talk faster than me is not a big deal.
Seriously, I talk slowly, mess up words a lot. I have to talk a bit louder and sloppier than my normal voice because I talk quietly and people can't hear me and have to redo a lot of voiceover takes. Not to mention, I have some type of problem with some words I say. I think I have a lisp problem, a speech impediment, or maybe something related to autism. Words that start with S, X, and Z are hard for me to say, pronounce, and for someone to hear. Words that end with S or X are hard for me to say, and to pronounce the S or X out. When I say the word video games, it sounds like I said video game. Years sound like year. Characters sound like character. Ideas sound like idea. Gears sound like gear. References sound like reference. And so on.
I'm not a company replacing artists with a robot. I'm just one person trying to do everything. I do not want to do everything by myself, but I do not know anyone or have any connection. And for the record, I never pay for AI. I use free options. If I wanted to pay for art, I would pay a human to make art. More on that later. AI art was a little helpful and it did give me feedback, but it is not perfect and had problems. In order for an AI image to be at its best for me, one, I had to make an AI prompt telling it what to do and what not to do, like having no background and only having the character head. AI is not great at doing a full body without messing something up, and is not great at every single detail. I need AI to focus more on the hair and facial look of a person. 2. Type in detailed like a person's skin color or tone, body type, age, a person's expression, and more, so it could create the best looking character it can. 3. Upload drawing I did of a character's hairstyle and eyes, but I still had problems and had to do many retries. I wanted AI to make a character from the hairstyle, eye shape, and eyebrow I drew for a character. It often ignored the type of eye or eyebrow I drew. It did mess up the hairstyle or did a completely different one from what I drew and did its own thing. Another thing, all the characters have different art styles. Not a single one had the same art style, and they all look odd when it comes to their age. When uploading more than one image, AI only takes in the hairstyle and head more than anything else. When I uploaded one image with the hairstyle, head, eyes, and eyebrows all in one, it had the same problem. It only took the hairstyle and head. The best thing I can say about AI art from my experience is I can use it as a passable visual representation of a character as a placeholder, and I use AI as some type of visual feedback. Since I'm alone and do not have a real person with me to work with, from the AI feedback, I can change something like a hair color, a hairstyle, and so on, I can at least say I drew an okay hairstyle for each of the characters I have. What odd about AI and AI art is it made me start drawing again. The AI art oddly made me want to try harder on my art and something else I cannot explain. Even at its best, AI cannot fit the AI art looking feel to it. When people say AI art had no soul, I agree. Even when I put work into drawing a hairstyle and extra, the art still feels off. Maybe if I was a good or better artist, it might work better if it's a paid version, but I cannot say for sure. I really do not want to pay for it, and it is not better than the free version. The idea of me making a comic page or a single comic panel using AI would be a nightmare because of the issues of AI itself. It is better to work with a real person by hire or commission. Finding and choosing an artist was not easy. I'm working within a budget. I need someone who can do a shonen manga or anime art style. Make sure the artist does human work and not uses AI. I have to know if this person is okay drawing from a half human made, half AI reference, and if a person was available and did not have other art jobs. Although I did email and message people saying,
I have some small drawings of hairstyles that I turn into character references and images, but the reference images and designs are made by AI from my simple hairstyle drawings. Are you okay with working with AI references? And the artwork you produced is not to be used for purposes involving AI.
at least I was upfront with the AI thing, although I understand why they would choose not to. I looked around different places and found people who charged low prices for great art, and some charge too much per page for a comic. No offense to anyone. I would not have a problem paying $100 for an amazing piece of art or two or something like that once in a while, but not $100 per page. I want to make the comic as a fun hobby and on a beginner level. I do not have that kind of money. I understand an artist charging that much because of quality, the crazy amount of detail, and the work that goes into the comic page. Although the issue with private and commercial use, I wanted to go with commercial use. Most artists I looked at charged double for commercial use, while paying $50 or $100 for one piece of art is not bad, but when private or commercial use is added, it makes the art a higher price tag. If anyone was wondering how much it would cost for an artist to draw every character of mine, this includes the main character and his main friend, secondary characters, rival fighters, bad guys, supporting or small role characters, and family members of some characters, which is at least a total of 50 people. If it was $50 per person because the art quality is really good and it's a full body, it would cost me $3,000. And for commercial use, it would cost me double, and the price for that is $10,000. Can you blame me for using half my human drawing and half AI to make characters now? Can you blame me for having AI art being used as a placeholder? Can you blame me for using AI at all? Moving on. I'm not an expert on art or commissioning, but I know an artist needs to know what they are drawing. If I gave you a basic drawing of a hairstyle, the art style, and some info about the character, would you be able to draw or come up with a character or a design that matches what I'm aiming for? If I gave you no image at all because I'm ashamed of my art and drawing and only gave you info on the type of hairstyle, the art style, and some info about the character, would you be able to draw or come up with a character or design that matches what I'm aiming for? The first one is possible, but the other one might be unreasonable. Thinking back, did half human-made, half AI art was a good option for me, and here is why. The only thing an artist would have to do is draw and make the character better by adding their human-made touch and flavor to the character from their art style. This would give a character life and remove the life with AI feel. Changing small errors from the AI with hair or whatever the case, and add extra detailed or change detailed to make the character feel fuller. It takes more work for an artist to draw a character from the ground up and have me approve each character. This would add more time and money into making the comic. By doing what I did, this shortened the time and work an artist would have to work on making a visually full-body character. Before I wanted to make the comic, I needed to get everything together. I already have the first story or episode. I changed and removed parts of the story to fit 48 comic pages. If I did not, it would be longer. I typed in what happened on each page and panel. I made basic blank comic panels. I got all the character images, plus the detailed and info about each one for the artist to draw, and so on. I'm not an expert on how to make a comic, and there are videos explaining it better than me. You need a script for a story to turn into a comic. The script I have is more suited for an animated show, but made it work into a comic. I found a person on Fiverr. He does good work for $25 a page. Well, I paid $29.88 per page because of Fiverr service fee, which is $4.88. I was not sure about an art style, and I do not know how to make my own art style. I have an idea of somewhat child-friendly anime visual like in Pokemon or Beyblade, but with mild blood, hard-hitting attack, and mild bad words. I think having something close to a modern teen shonen anime manga like My Hero Academia could match better.
These are the only art styles I could think of that could match what I'm aiming for. But it's not a copy of these art styles, and not to copy them, of course. These shows and their art styles are only used as an example. Now, you might be wondering, why Pokemon? Mostly the Pokemon X and Y anime, or Pokemon Horizons. I like Pokemon, I like the art style. The art style is simple and easy for artists or animation. Why Beyblade? Mostly Burst or X. I watched some episodes because of the art style. I think the art style is great and somewhat matches what I'm aiming for. Also, I'm using it as another show example for a younger demographic. Why My Hero Academia? I like the show a lot, and the art style is great for modern shonen anime, mostly aimed at teens.
All I knew was it needed to be anime or manga or whether made with Japanese influence. I just asked him to draw the character in manga style or his art style. What was the outcome? Well, the work he did was great, and for the price, I think I got my money's worth. From the art, you can tell that it made by a person with a human touch. He took the images and made them into visually great characters. The characters are believable. They all are in the same art style. They look like teenagers. The info put the height is correct for each person, and you can tell what genre it is. I wanted to keep things simple because of the pride, and this is my first time making a comic. For the details, I add the artist to do the thing.
During the many fights, the background doesn't matter that much because the focus is on the fight, so the background could be blurred in most cases. During talking, only the head and the top part of the body or half the body is shown. When Leo's friends, Jaden, Hiro, Alice, Lucas, and Roy, all in this order, are talking, they are in the bleachers sitting together. There is basic and low detail for the crowd of people because the focus is on Leo and the other important characters.
Here is how the project works. The artist did a sketch of each page, and I took a look at each one. If I like the sketch or if everything is done correctly, I tell him to move forward with the final version of the page. I review the final version as well to make sure everything is okay. It went like this for each page. I had to add for panel changes during the sketching phase because a few were not done right or something looked off. Unfortunately, the artist had to deal with weather disturbances and power issues where he lived. We were messaging each other. That is how I know the info. And I 100% understand the situation. Random things can happen and are out of our control. But I'm just glad the guy was alright. So, this is my whole story. I do not know how I'm going to get picked up and work with a company to create the stories of mine. I know self-publishing and indie is a thing, but I need a team and I do not have the means. I do not want help. I need help. I hope to make connections and network with people very soon. I hope I'm not nervous about talking to others because I'm socially awkward. As for my comic, you can read part 1 online for free on the platform. Part 2 is not done yet. When part 2 is finished, whenever it is done, I'm not sure what I should do. Make part 2 free or sell part 2 with part 1 as a whole 48-page digital comic for a very low price. I would love to sell this comic to earn the money, but that was not my goal in the first place. My goal is to create a comic or do something visually creative this year. Although I will not make much of selling the digital comic, because a lot of people do not know who I am or will even watch this video for that matter. I plan on making more videos for the channel soon. I already did my part on AI art or AI in general. AI should be used as a tool for small things to help a person. AI should not replace and cannot replace an artist with talent and passion, or human beings in general. And I wish other issues around AI can be fixed or changed for the better. Having a full-time artist to draw my characters and give them a visual overhaul would be wonderful. I really wish I had amazing art talent and or a team of people to work with. This is my only regret. Oh, and getting a lot of AI advertisement when I watch YouTube videos now.